Welcome to my talk. I'm Christina Mutter from the German research project VerbaAlpina from Munich University. And in my talk today, I will tell you something about fair linguistic data thanks to norm data and how Wikidata is part of the research project VerbaAlpina. That's the outline for my talk. I will first give you a short project overview, telling you something about our research aims and our area under investigation, about the conceptual domains we are focusing on, as well as the data we use. Then I will present you the so-called FAIR principles and explain their role in research. And then I will show you how VerbaAlpina tries to make its data fair and what role norm data, and in particular the norm data created by Wikidata, play in that. So now first some words on our project. VerbaAlpina, with full title called The Alpine Cultural Region Reflected Through Its Multilingualism, is funded by the German Research Foundation, the DFG. VerbaAlpina started in October 2014, and we are already in the second term now, which lasts from November 2017 until the end of 2020. In total, the project has a perspective until 2025. VerbaAlpina seeks to investigate the linguistic and cultural area of the entire Alpine region from a transnational perspective. The project is a combination of geolinguistics and digital humanities. One of VerbaAlpina's main research aim is the selective and analytical investigation of the Alpine space, which is highly fragmented with regard to the languages and dialects spoken there. The project also aims at overcoming the traditional limitation of geolinguistic investigation to nation states and to recognize connections with regard to the etymology of the individual dialectal words. We aim at setting up a portal by using modern media technology, and on this portal, all steps we take are documented, all data is collected, and a collaborative development is taking place. Moreover, the cooperation with other projects is fundamental for VerbaAlpina. Our area under investigation is the Alpine region, which is defined by the so-called Alpine Convention, an international treaty between the Alpine countries and the EU for the sustainable development and protection of the Alps. This area covers a surface area of 190,600 square kilometers and comprises parts of 6 different countries and 2 entire ones. The Alpine region is characterized by an ethnographic and topographic homogeneity, and at the same time by a strong linguistic heterogeneity, which includes 3 large language families, namely Germanic, Romance, and Slavonic languages, which can also be seen on the map on the right. Accordingly, VerbaAlpina focuses on the following languages and their respective dialects: German, French, Italian, Slovenian, Franco-Provençal, Romansh, Latin, Friulian, and Occitan. VerbaAlpina investigates the Alpine lexis of 3 conceptual domains, 1 in each project phase. Stage 1 focused on vocabulary related to Alpine pasture farming and milk processing. In the current phase, the project is concerned with the lexis of the domains flora, fauna, weather, and landscape formations. And in a possible third project phase, we will focus on the vocab related to modern life, thus ecology and tourism. But being in the second project phase now doesn't mean that the data collection of vocabulary regarding the first project phase is already finished. In each project phase, there's just added another vocabulary section which will be investigated. The data we work with derives from multiple different sources. Most data comes from printed and georeferenced atlases and dictionaries from the past 100 years. Furthermore, we work with digital materials from our project partners. But since most of these resources lack a cross-linguistic perspective and only cover parts of the Alpine vocabulary, we also make use of online crowdsourcing via a crowdsourcing tool created by VerbaAlpina to even out, complete, and correct the inhomogeneous data stock. This picture gives you an overview of the large number of traditional atlases and dictionaries in which the relevant vocabulary of the Alpine region is recorded. The white boxes show the atlases and the black ones the dictionaries. On this slide, you can see a screenshot of the crowdsourcing tool of VerbaAlpina, which is mainly about one central question the users are asked, namely the question how a certain term is called in their municipality. The blue dots you can see on the picture show all attestations which have already been entered by users. One of the major challenges regarding the data we work with is that they should meet certain criteria defined by the so-called FAIR principles, which have been postulated by Wilkinson et al. In 2016 as the guiding principles for scientific data management. And according to these principles, research data have to be findable, accessible, interoperable, and reusable. But how can this be done? Research data are findable when they are part of library catalogs and data aggregators. The data get accessible using open access licenses. The interoperability of the data is guaranteed via the compatibility of databases and their interconnection, and the reusability of the data finally results from the three other principles. To make its data fair, VerbaAlpina takes several steps. In order to make the data that have been collected and processed by VerbaAlpina findable, the project cooperates with the University Library of Munich University as part of the project eHumanities Interdisciplinär, and until 2019 also with the project GERDI. The abbreviation stands for Generic Research Data Infrastructure. In the context of these cooperations, the central data stock is enriched with metadata version by version. The data are then transferred in several forms to the university library, where they are stored in the open data repository. Until the end of the project GERDI, in 2019, the metadata have also been integrated into the index, which has been created in the context of the project GERDI. To make the data accessible, Creative Commons licenses are used, which are compatible with open access for all data managed by VerbaAlpina. up to the version 18.1, it's CC BY SA 3.0, and from version 18.2, it's CC BY SA 4.0. The interoperability of the data is achieved through a fine correlation of the data stock. This includes the structured processing of the data via the processes of transcription, tokenization, and typification, but also the assignment of norm data and of persistent identifiers like DOIs, which are digital object identifiers, and the enrichment with metadata in DataCite and CIDOC CRM format. Moreover, the data of VerbaAlpina are interoperable since all primary data and metadata are accessible via the project's interactive map, via the so-called Lexicon Alpinum, which is part of our website, as well as via an API, an application programming interface. And finally, the data is reusable as a result of being findable, accessible, and interoperable. One of the most important things to make our data interoperable is the assignment of different types of norm data or identifiers. By using these identifiers, it is possible to link the data from VerbaAlpina with external datasets. In this way, the data can be mutually enriched with additional information and unambiguously referenced. VerbaAlpina uses norm data created by the project itself, as well as persistent identifiers of external institutions like knowledge databases, norm databases, and reference dictionaries. The project itself created norm data for the project's 3 core entities, which are morpholexical types, concepts, and municipalities. For morpholexical types, the prefix L is used, for concepts C, and for municipalities A, as can be seen in the following examples. There, for example, C612 identifies the concept Almhütte, which is chalet in English. Apart from the norm data created by VerbaAlpina itself, also persistent identifiers of external institutions are used. Above all, we use the QIDs developed by Wikidata for the identification of concepts, and in part also the GNDs designed by the German National Library. The abbreviation GND stands for Gemeinsame Normdatei in German, which means Integrated Authority File in English. For morpholexical types, partly we have already assigned the LIDs of Wikidata. At the moment, we are about to assign LIDs and GNDs, but this process is not finished yet. For the identification of municipalities, we use the so-called geonames from the webpage geonames.org. QIDs and GNDs allow unambiguous referencing to objects and extralinguistic entities, which can be objects, communities, or associations, etc. LIDs allow unique referencing to lexemes. And compared to other norm data integrated in VerbaAlpina, the Q and LIDs of Wikidata also allow an interlinguistic linking of data. Furthermore, to identify languages, we use the ISO codes 6393, and we link morpholexical types and base types to certain reference reference dictionaries, and we assign DOIs, digital object identifiers, to every single data, which means to every attestation, morpholexical type, concept, and municipality, which is part of the data stock of VerbaAlpina. The following example illustrates the benefit of assigning norm data to lexical data. Here you can see two atlases, each containing several maps on which different concepts are listed. As can be shown by the example of the STS, the Linguistic Atlas of German Switzerland, and the ALF, the Linguistic Atlas of France, there are atlases with maps that contain the same concepts. In our example, we are dealing with the map and the concept Q, and we can assign both a QID and a GND to this concept. In this way, the concept U is uniquely referenceable, and other dictionaries and databases can take up the concept, and thus information from different data stocks can be merged. On this screenshot, you can see the concept milk and the corresponding QID on the interface of Wikidata, where the individual concepts are always represented in several languages, in the case of milk, in English, German, French, and Bavarian so far. And here's a screenshot of the interface of the German National Library, where you can access the GNDs exemplified here by the concept butter. On this slide, you can see a screenshot of one of the pop-up windows that appear when you click on the attestations of our interactive map of the project. The parts in yellow are interactive and linked to other resources. There's a link to the source and the corresponding entry of Wikidata. Furthermore, we link morpholexical types and base types to certain reference dictionaries, which can be seen here on the right. And we link places where attestations derive from with the corresponding entry on the website Geonames. So now I'm already at the end of my presentation, and here you can find some references. Thank you for your attention, and you're welcome to get in touch with me via email to christina.mutter@nmu.de or also via Telegram under the name Christina Mutter.